Bianca Belair, who was never actually a champion in NXT or WWE Monday Night Raw, received her main roster call down, call up, whatever you want to call it, following WrestleMania. She's still around, but WWE isn't really using her on Raw. Just like they took Shayna basically off Raw, Bianca Belair hasn't even got any TV time. So she's still around somewhere in backstage and catering maybe. So it's been a very long time since the EST of WWE has shown up anywhere in WWE, NXT, SmackDown or Raw. And she has some unfinished business according to Ringside News. While speaking with Fox Sports, Belair discussed her goals in WWE. She wants to become a champion across the board. One title that eluded her in her entire career was the NXT Women's title. She never actually won the Women's title before she made the main roster demotion. She really wants that gold and still has a desire to hold it after working so hard in NXT. I mean, if Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Bayley can show up to NXT, why not Bianca Belair? Why not Bianca Belair? Finn Balor was treated the same way. Prince Pretty and Tyler Breeze, Prince Pretty, Fandango, whatever you want to call Tyler Breeze. But that tag team was sent to NXT. They were allowed to be in NXT for some time and wrestle. So why not Bianca Belair? If you're not going to use her, don't have her on a contract paying her for doing absolutely nothing. And then a statement was, open quote, "Of course I want to be a champion across Raw, SmackDown. I want to, before the end of my career. I know I'm on Raw right now. Before the end of my career, I will say this. I want to be NXT champion. Women's champion, excuse me. Because I worked so hard in NXT. That was my home. That's where I started. Like, I'm getting emotional talking about it. You can't say you work hard because you're supposed to work hard, but I sacrifice more than people even know, and it's just that was what I was going for, and that's what I want. So before whatever the end of my career, 10 years from now, I want to be NXT Women's Champion one day. That's what's here in my heart, in brackets. End quote. So clearly Bianca Belair is frustrated inside. If you took Bianca Belair in a room and you asked her with her having no fear of WWE getting to know whatever she's saying, she would say that she's frustrated. She wouldn't want to be at Raw because of course she's not getting any TV time. And the same way how WWE never gave TV time to Apollo Crews, and finally they did. They did in little bursts and sprouts, but it was nothing compared to the other wrestlers. And Ty Dillinger too. Just it's like a mirror image of Ty Dillinger. That's what they're making Bianca Belair. They're making Bianca Belair a mirror image of what Ty Dillinger went through. And then of course, when his contract was up, in a click of a second, he just walked to AEW because knowing that it was the right thing to do. So Bianca Belair, well, it's very interesting. Like, she could maybe eventually get the permission to go back to NXT. And dream to become, or wish to become, NXT Women's Champion isn't too far-fetched, because Charlotte Flair was able to go to NXT and become the champion of that brand for a month. I mean, she didn't add any value to it. She didn't really add any viewership increase to it. In fact, it was NXT's own brand, own NXT exclusive superstars who actually made the difference. Because it was Keith Lee versus Finn Balor versus who else was it? I think I forgot the other name. Keith Lee versus Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. That triple threat match to become the #1 contender for Adam Cole's NXT Championship was the match that really main evented that show, which actually beat AEW ratings. Right now, WWE fans are waiting to see Bianca Belair back on Raw. She still has it in her heart that she'll someday hold the NXT Women's Championship. It's such a shame she hasn't been given any TV time like tutelage, as I just said before. If Vince wasn't going to use her at all, why are you wasting a wrestler's time and career, paying them for absolutely nothing, just to keep them away from wrestling on AEW or NXT, where I'm pretty sure they'd become the talking point more ever so than they did on Raw. It's honestly very pathetic on WWE.
If you made it to the end of the video, like the video, share it all over if you want, and subscribe to Pro Wrestling News Bite.